So, some more cleaning up. I'm just gonna replace a couple of more hoses on the harvester head. Had not fully confirmed any major leaks. I was a little worried the big hoses feeding it because they were a little oily underneath, and cleaned them up, but it could have been from when they were taken off that something had leaked down them and was just lingering. So I'm not gonna attack them now, even if they look really bad. So here we have the hydraulic hose from hell. I had already loosened the outermost one. That was no problem, but there is an inner one. These two hoses go between the cylinders here, on either side. I think it's that closest to feed rollers, and this side wasn't that big of a problem. A little strap to hold things back for a little bit better access, but the other side, well, it came undone. I'd purchased new hoses using the information in the parts manual. That turned out to be a fail because they were too short, so probably someone had it might have been possible to force them there in place, but the first shorter one, it turned out to be like physically impossible to get there because there is a part sticking out from the valve block. We came to the conclusion that after many tries and so on, that it's just simply impossible to get it in place without a short bend 90-degree elbow, and the old hose had a shorter elbow, so a new hose was purchased, and then I made that a little longer for a little better, little more wiggle room. It still refused to go in place because there are some pipes it has to go in through before you can start tightening down, and the angle required to get it to start going down there, it just refused. We tried and tried to the point that I was about to start using dynamite or something, but my dad said we should remove these pipes here and get a little millimeter more wiggle room. So the pipes were loosened and ratchet straps to pull them up, and then another ratchet strap to kind of force it a little to the side, and it still refused to go. I was certain that they had put the wrong threads on there or something, so I had to bring the hose to another connection and ensure that it had the correct thread at least, and it did. So eventually we tried again, and after a few more attempts and my dad helping to twist it to line it up and so on, and eventually the thread started grabbing, and I just prayed that the O-ring that's required to seal it was still where it was supposed to be. So it eventually was possible to get in place there, and then the other side was it's tight on that side too, but a lot easier access than the first side. Had also seen that one more of those regulators started to pull up a tiny bit of oil in it after cleaning, so decided to, since I had the O-rings and it just required removing one hose and it was possible to access, I gave that fresh O-rings also, and then back with that in place. And since we had lengthened the first shorter hose a little bit, the second one would kind of had to lay on top of that, and kind of it would probably have been possible, but some point they have lengthened them a little, I think, compared to what they installed from the factory. So I ended up buying a longer one for that place also. So now I have two extra hoses here that will probably collect dust forever and never be used. And for some reason I have two other longer hoses that I have no clue where they are supposed to go. I thought I had ordered them to be for one of the tilt cylinders here, but that can't be it because they are way too long for that. So we'll see. I'll put them in the pile of nice to find parts, and eventually at some point maybe they will be needed. Also replaced the hose here that feeds to the chain saw bar chain oiler, and that was quite easy, apart from having to change the angle of the 90-degree connector there, and I thought I could back it out, but it was stopping against the computer mount, so I wanted to replace the seal. But it was started, checked for leaks, also looked around, found it was leaking a little around that blocked connector, so tightened that up and put some paper there to see if it keeps leaking.